$46,000 from one single trade this week. Actually, $46,900. So from one single trade, that I'm gonna break it down step by step and explain why I enter in this position in the market this week. So first of all, I would like to say that the less trade that I do, the best entries I get and the more profits I get. And the thing is that the majority of traders, even though that they are beginners, like they're trading for a couple of years, maybe even less, they're confused because they think that the more trades that they took, the better it is, like the more profits they do. No, this is actually not true and it's wrong, because the more that you are exposed into the market, the higher the risk of failing and losing money. So this is the dollar Swiss franc. So the first thing that I did is that I opened my laptop and my trading view to make an analysis on Tuesday. And why the days are important, why I didn't start on Monday or at the midnight after the market opened, like on Monday, like after midnight. It is because like there are a lot of false alerts and a lot of false confirmation given at the very beginning of the week. The same thing actually is happening at the very end of the week. So the market, it needs like to move, to make some moves, and we have to give it like a leap before we enter into a trade. So the best formation of the market starts when the New York is open around 9 a.m., like something like that, 8:30 a.m. During on Tuesday. Because the majority of the volume, if I put like the indicator of volume here, it starts up here. So after I open like my TradingView account, the first thing that I see is what is happening in the market, because the dollar is one very volatile currently because of the war, and what is happening in the bigger time frames. Why I choose to check the bigger time frame first? Because when I see a confirmation, for example, like this is a low and this is a high, and I notice like a higher high on the daily time frame, this is a huge, like really true confirmation that I can see that the market formation is looking to the upside. So I cannot enter into a daily time frame because my risk to reward, it will be much lower. So I need to take like a few confirmations in the lower time frame that I actually will enter, and this is the H1 time frame. The H1 time frame is helping me because after the upside move that, as you can see here, is the upside move that happened, and this is the breakout that created a higher high on the daily time frame. The market is moving like to the downside, but actually it's not moving in the downside. It's making a pullback in the H1 time frame that is confusing the traders. So what we actually waiting for an entry to see like a signal for an entry. We're waiting, we're matching areas like highs, all the time highs. We're focusing only on the highs because in higher time frame we are looking for a long position. We are focusing on the high to make a higher high. The best thing here is this. We need to create a higher high, not only on the previous high, but also on the previous high. Like we need the price to create like a higher high than the two highs that it did before. So this is the one, this is the first one, and this is the second one. So when the price breaks on the upside, like two previously highs, we have a confirmation that we are waiting for the price to come back and retest the previous high. Also, here we have another confirmation that the price is breaking also the 50 moving average. Why I'm using like the EMA, the moving average, like length 50? Because the bigger the length, the better statistically the probability of the price to have a right confirmation. For example, if I'm putting this on a 9 length, everything is changing. You see, everything is changing. Like the majority of traders can see here an opportunity, or maybe here an opportunity, as you can see, that the price is breaking this moving average, but it's a false entry. So I need the moving average to be like in a higher length, so I can check the last 50-hour candles, how they're moving. So I'm taking like this statistically the last 50 hours of the moving average to have a higher probability, like a higher confirmation for my setup. So after this, like the new higher high, that broke like two highs and the broken moving average, I'm waiting for the price to make here like a higher low. Why I need a higher low? Because I do know that the uptrend is moving like with higher lows and higher highs, higher lows and higher highs. So I'm checking what is the best entry. Here it's the best entry. Why is the best entry? Because currently the price hasn't moved like upwards yet. So I have like the best potential setup for a long position, not only because of my stop loss, but also because of my, let's say, high return on this trade. Like my return, if I had opened this trade, it will be 1 out of 7, almost 8 risk to reward ratio. So that means this is huge. This is like a very, very, very good trade. Imagine for a trader that he's trading with $1 million account, maybe $500,000 account, that he's risking 5% into his live account, like he would risk 25,000 to make, let's say, 400,000. Super amazing. After this, I'm waiting for the retest. I'm executing my trade. Like my stop loss is set it correctly because I need my stop loss lower than this low, because I know that the uptrend is moving like with higher highs, higher lows. If the price continue like to moving to the downside and breaks my low, this one, there is no an uptrend. So I'm gonna exit your trade and look for a different direction to most probably put a short position or something like that. So after that, I notified my students as well, because I gave this exact trade that before I executed, I gave it to my group, like with my students. And after I noticed that the price is moving like and creating new highs, like higher highs than the previous one, I'm always looking like at the previous highs. So creating new highs and new highs, moved my stop loss like almost to break even, let's say like somewhere here. So it was actually a risk-free trade. For a trader that he's day trading, because I don't really believe in day trading, I like, for example, setting and forgetting all my trades. He could have like multiple entries for long position, another one and another one and another one and another one, till the price like skyrocket. So that was the really, really good setup that I took like the previous week. I wish every single setup would be that great. This setup, when I saw it, I was waiting actually for a couple days, maybe a few weeks, for this setup to plays out. And it was a great setup. When I saw it, I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity. I didn't risk a lot, because every single time in trading you have like the same probability to lose a trade, but I was really confident about this setup. What's the value of this story here? Okay, the value of this story is that you have to break down every single trade that you took in a week. Maybe you have every Sunday like look back on your week and examine and evaluate every single trade that you took. For example, I took these two trades, okay? These two trades, I know exactly what I did, and I remember exactly what I did, because I have a system. I have a proper system that I work on. So I'm waiting for the price to show me like the formation to break 1, 2 like highs and create a higher high to break my moving average, come down to retest it and understand that I have a higher low in this situation, put my stop loss correctly, and put also my take profit correctly, and just let the trade plays out with confidence, because I'm not risking my whole account in the trade. Also here, like I'm waiting for the price to break one low, create a lower low, just entering under the moving average. Again, I have a proper system, so I need the formation of the trend. I need the best entry under the moving average. I need to see all this confirmation for my setup to plays out. Okay, so the value here is to understand that with a proper system, for everybody to understand that you can have these numbers. Okay, you can start with $500 and creating like $1 million in a few, maybe less than a year. Okay, maybe actually less than 2 years, and this is possible. Like people are making like 190 millions from a trade, not in a year, from one trade, millions from a trade. So it is possible when you have like a proper system.